Welcome back to the Handlin It podcast. I'm your host, Tony, with my co-host, Aiden here. And today we got a special guest. He's a mixed martial arts fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's all around. We got Ben Dixon.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hell yeah, this is awesome. So let's start it right from the beginning. How did you start getting into the world of combat sports?
Oh, man. It's actually a little bit of a funny story. Long ago when a galaxy far, far away, I went to a friend's Super Bowl party, and the Super Bowl halftime show sucked. So we're just wrestling around. Someone jumped on my back, and we were just like beating each other up. And we're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Let's go in the basement. It's really stupid. Like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, we don't know anything about this. What's up?
Yeah.
We kind of started like the first fight club around the area. And, it was in Sydney, New York. It was started super small. Over the course of like 8 months or so, grew to where it was like a 16 fighter card. We had stuffed like 100 people in a basement of a single wide trailer.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, so we ended up getting busted by the cops. They were like,
oh man,
Oh, someone didn't follow the first rule of Fight Club there.
yeah. So they're like, hey, you guys are idiots. Stop this now, or we'll press charges.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, cool. We'll stop. But it was something I was always interested in. And I was like, well, how do I keep doing this? So I just did a little bit of research. Through a couple of friends of mine, we found out that there was a pastor in Albany that was doing like charity shows. It was like amateur MMA. And he put on
a
shows.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So we call him the fight pastor, right? Shout out James Malooly, Pastor James. So he not only is a pastor, but he also works for foster care. So he fosters kids and things of that nature. And he'd put on these shows to raise money for like Christmas or whatever. So like my first fight show where I did like MMA was for the pastor, and we did a charity show where we raised money for kids and stuff.
Wow. Okay. Did you win?
Oh yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So as far as like amateur MMA went, because my time was way before it was legal in New York.
Yeah.
I was a little bit older. But I went 13-2 amateur wise, and then found out that you don't get punched in the face in jiu-jitsu.
That's nice. Yeah.
What would you say is the best base, do you think, for like MMA?
Oh man.
This is tricky. This is widely debated too.
It is definitely widely debated. But as a person who has experience in grappling, has trained people for years, you can teach a monkey to throw a mass at anyone.
Yeah.
It still has the potential to knock you out.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's always like the puncher's chance.
Yeah.
When you get on the ground, like that's definitive. I'm either going to break your arm or I'm going to choke you out, and you have no choice over the matter. So there's a lot less that happens on accident in grappling than could potentially happen in striking. Once again, my personal bias. So I feel that jiu-jitsu is superior when it comes down to it.
Definitely. I mean, I think that the puncher's chance, like a lot of people say that, and it's definitely true. Like you can get you could be the greatest fighter. Some random guy could maybe, just happen to crack you and get you.
You lean the wrong way. You thought it was coming from the other way.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
a little biased, but
honestly, do you still watch a lot of UFC and stuff like that?
So I actually don't watch a ton of it. I really only watch like the popular fights my friend wants to watch or whatever. Someone makes a note of it. I've never really like followed it too closely. Not out of any particular reason, just because I'm a dad. I got the business.
Yeah.
I get sleepy.
That's honestly a big problem that people complain about is the time for the cards. It's like late. The main card starts at 10 and everyone's like, what the hell's going on? But
for real. And even like, UFC or even like the jiu-jitsu matches that go on like CGI. Like almost like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I know, right?
God.
So who's someone in the like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner that you really admire or look up to?
Man, kind of old school. I grew up under Matt Martindale and Oneana, so we had a lot of teachings through Marcelo Garcia.
Gotcha.
So, being super front headlock pressure and all that fun stuff, nasty Marcelo team.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I grew up. So seeing him dethroned by Lachlan Giles this past week.
Oh, that was rough. Yeah, okay.
Like to see your heroes take a L.
Yeah. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not super well versed in the like jujitsu. I know like big names, you know. And speaking of which, you actually got the chance to roll with Gordon Ryan, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. That was crazy.
Pretty cool experience. We were in Ohio for the Arnold Classic.
Gotcha.
And the big draw for Grappling Industries was that if you made it through the absolute division, you had a chance to meet Gordon Ryan and face him. And I had gotten, I think, like 6 submissions back to back to back.
Oh, wow.
Got to Gordon Ryan. I'm like 170 pounds to this 260. But shot at him, did the thing, passed his guard, probably let me, and end up, on the ground. Went up into an armbar position. Kind of a funny backstory is that I know the owners of Grappling Industries for years, and it happened to be one of the referees, Marcos Flores.
Oh, gotcha.
And he's got me almost dead to rights in an armbar. And my man Marcos is like, Gordon Ryan, hit him with a wrist lock. Don't fucking wrist lock me, dude. Don't do that, So it was a funny story, and I got to fucking shout out, fuck you, Gordon Ryan, while he wrist locked me.
That's awesome, though. That's really cool.
It's fun. You always get little stories, and I will forever be on Gordon Ryan's Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, that's really awesome. I saw it on your Instagram. I was like, wow, that's sick. And then I was like looking at so I started watching like some other jiu-jitsu and rolling. And what's your opinion, like gi or no gi?
I have always trained gi more, but my style of jiu-jitsu just fits better with no gi. It's very fast. I'm a submission hunter as opposed to a points player. So the faster I can move, the better off for me. And the friction of the gi kind of slows things down.
Yeah.
Not that I'm bad in the gi, because I'm still pretty good in the gi as well. I just perform better in no gi. It's my style.
I was watching some matches and I noticed something called, I don't know if there's an actual name, but just like a ref pull, like where the ref will just kind of pull the fighters back into the thing. I'm not really sure.
So anytime you get into like the out of balance area, they try and like keep you in a similar position, especially if you weren't in any type of like active submission.
Yeah.
To try and keep it as fair as possible, as opposed to like doing the UFC thing.
Yeah.
Like, bring him back to the ring and stay in the back.
Yeah. That way you're maintaining, if you're in a dominant position, you're maintaining that spot. Yeah. Honestly, it's really smart. I thought it was cool, but I was also like, that must be disorienting. Yeah. Like you're just getting pulled all of a sudden by the ref. Well, some of the refs I was watching were really good. I was like, wow, that was clean. I was almost like, wow, this should be a sport. Like this is pretty cool.
Yeah. And just depending on the level of tournament you go to, like if you go to like an IBJJF, like their refs wear like suits and ties and slacks.
Yeah.
Like they'll make sure like every hand positioning is in the proper place before they move you. They'll move you, make sure you're back. The little smaller shows, they'll just grab you by your belt and drag you.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you're right though. It's much nicer. So, like you said in the UFC, it's definitely, and there's been fights like they've talked about that 100 times where maybe if you are on the ground, you have to get stood back up. Whoever had the dominant position has now lost their dominant position. So it's much better that way. I mean, it would be ridiculous in jiu-jitsu if they tried to do that. They're like, all right, get up, get back over here on the ground. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting.
As a person who's grappling experienced, like that's kind of like boring for normal people.
Yeah.
They don't really understand the intricacies in moving your hands, grip placements and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sell fights.
Yeah.
Oh, boo, get up.
That is always the problem. That's what always gets the boos, honestly.
I'm definitely a booer.
For me, honestly, I get more bored of clinch work. I'm like when I see them up against the cage, I'm kind of like, all right, if they're working, if they're like throwing knees, but if they're just kind of sitting there and they're resting, they're catching time, I'm like, all right, what are you guys doing? Like, come on.
In there,
Yeah. But as far as like the actual jiu-jitsu and grappling goes, like I said, not super well versed, but I definitely like to see, I like to see more submissions and more chokes. It's cooler to see in the UFC now. We're definitely seeing kind of a progression away from striking for a while and towards wrestling, but now people are trying to combat the wrestling with more grappling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So especially now, like I call it wrestling fusion.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like really good wrestlers are now learning jiu-jitsu and getting into MMA. So I've always said, like, if you can take a good wrestler who has like only one speed, forward and heavy, you know, and then actually teach him how to finish, then like that's the most dangerous grappling that can be. Because now
100%.
you have someone who doesn't die, who doesn't stop, and they can finish you whenever they want. That, you know, so now that the wrestling's getting into it, it's a lot more takedowns, a lot more submissions. Things are getting a little bit faster, a little bit more entertaining.
That's awesome. The takedowns are really cool. We just watched the card last night. I know you said you're not super avid watcher, but Merab Javashali, he like picked him up and slammed him on the ground. I was like, he lost, but the takedown defense from Peter Yan on that was incredible. And honestly, that's something that they were like, you solved the puzzle of Merab there. And that's something what do you teach for takedown defense? Like,
takedown defense is you got to stuff it. You got to stuff it early. If you don't stop them from getting to your hips and your legs, it's pretty much over. Heavy sprawls. Honestly, we do a little like kind of like a hip check to the shoulders. Yeah. A little bit of a thrust to stop that forward momentum. Yeah. Digging good underhooks.
Yeah. That's the Michael Chandler way right there. Yeah. He does that all the time. That was his go-to. He was like, don't even try that, because a lot of people say sometimes trying to stuff, they lowered their hands and then they'll come back up and you get hit. So you see a lot of people do that, like hip check. That's definitely
hip check, getting up underneath them, and there's always a good position to snap good guillotines and stuff from right there.
What's your favorite submission?
Yeah, ooh, you took the question right out of my mouth.
So early on, I really attached to like the Kimura.
Gotcha.
So I'm a Kimura guy. I have 3 daughters, and one of my daughters is named Kimura.
Oh wow! Okay.
So,
all right.
Cool. He's committed to it.
Maybe we could have guessed that one.
So it's just I've always had a really big interest in it. It was always taught to me as like a move that was like for big guys and a big strong guy. And I feel like over my career, I've now understood it and even kind of like made it my own, to where like I can break it down and teach a much smaller person the proper angularity and what pressure and posture control to create a really, really good Kimura. You know, I actually have a whole like Kimura system. There is already a Kimura trap system that exists, but like I consider like my Kimura trap is like it's in there. Right? The Kimura trap system itself is more of like a position, but like then there's other places you can go. It's where kind of like how I use it. We call it the ass hat position. So quite literally like with my cheeks on your head for Kimura. You know? But like now like you're trapped. You're not moving anywhere. So like this is where we work from.
Yeah.
It's pretty effective.
That's awesome.
Like armbar positions, Ronda Rousey based, you know, taking the back, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So what's the first submission you teach like new students?
First submission, depending on if they've come from a self-defense base or it's just a jiu-jitsu class. If it's a jiu-jitsu class, it's probably going to be like closed guard armbar.
Gotcha.
Learning your closed guard basics, super, super helpful, especially understanding the correlation between like armbar and triangle and omoplata and how those 3 relate and go back and forth between each other. Super, super crucial for someone who's new. Someone who's doing a little bit more self-defense, I like to give them a little bit more like if that, then this commands, so they don't have to worry about like the whole world of jiu-jitsu as opposed to worrying about human reaction.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be like more like an Americana. Like we get into like a mounted position.
Yeah.
Shoot an Americana, because they're not going to let you put the arm backwards. So they'll fight their arm forward. So now you can drag them into a predictable arm bar.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you don't have the arm bar, you just go to the back. All roads lead to the back.
Yeah. That's the best way. That's the best way. I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah.
So what are your opinions on like belt progression? Like as far as it goes at your gym, like how do you do that? And
so belt progressions for me are kind of like I don't want to say like who do I know when you're ready type of thing.
Yeah.
You know? But as an experienced grappler and a black belt, I have a pretty good idea of what you should know at what point. But I also kind of couple that with, say, like your potential, right?
Yeah.
So if I know like you're the type of person who's coming in, you just want to be a hobbyist, you're doing a couple things here and there, a couple of days a week, you know, like your potential may not be as great as someone who's coming in 4 or 5 days a week and you know, smashing heads and clearing tournaments, right? So the person who has a smaller potential, they may progress a little bit faster, right? But it's because they're filling their potential faster. I don't like to sandbag guys, but I also don't want to send someone out into the world unprepared.
Yeah, that can't carry that belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to send someone out there where I'm like, all right, well, you could be a blue belt. If you're going to come like from our gym, they're going to be like, oh shit, that's a Mushin blue belt.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then we got the same thing at like boxing, where our place is like shots boxing is what it's called. Yeah. So our coaches told us that like a lot of places will let you spar, or might not let you spar, but let you go like compete amateurly. And like a couple spars, but shots boxing, you have to get like a
like 100 hard
100,
rounds.
yeah.
They want
Yeah.
you to really get in there and
really
get dirty.
get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get all the experience, you get to see a lot of different moves and techniques and reactions. It just makes it more safe overall, as opposed to just putting out the guesswork. You're like, oh, well,
It's better to
I think
be
I can
over
slip here. I
prepared.
think I can roll here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, there seems to be a large discrepancy though between different gyms and like belt progression, because you'll see it happen all the time where it's like, wow, how is this purple belt getting destroyed by this blue belt? And it's because, okay, this guy was kind of bumped up by a different gym or whatever. I feel like there needs to be some type of almost rule book where it's like, all right, you're not allowed to have this belt unless you can do this, this, and this. Because there is a lot of like, I don't want to say leeway, but I guess leeway with where, yeah.
Tons of leeway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the saying that they try and sell you, right?
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't matter what belt level you are, your belt color represents the knowledge that you possess, not necessarily the ability to use it.
Gotcha.
Right? So with that being said, that just means like a belt is for me to look out into the classroom and be like, all right, cool. I can put you with you and you guys aren't going to hurt each other.
Yeah.
That thought process is cool. But if I had a law degree and didn't know how to practice law.
Yeah, that's true. That was a great analogy right there.
So you really like, even if you're a C+ lawyer and you can fumble your way through it and still win a case.
Yeah.
Like, cool. You can do it. You start to get lower than that.
Yeah.
It's a common thing we call them like McDojos. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pay to play system.
Yeah.
So now, like, you'll go there, you pay for your classes, you got to pay for your belt promotions.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the seminars. You got to, So once you start getting to like the pay to play situation, you can be like, something feels icky about this.
Yeah. And we've talked about that before, where it seems like that happens, unfortunately frequently, where, people can come in and pay whatever and be like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm a purple belt. And they're like, really? What? How'd you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, just a good way to tell is if your school has a competition team,
Yeah.
it just means that like they're quite literally willing to just put it out there.
Yeah.
Right. So if the school you're going to has a competition team, chances are they're probably worth their salt.
Yeah.
If they don't have a competition team, can't say that they're terrible, right? Because that'd be very assumptive. But at the same time, like, why aren't you competing?
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
Do you not want to test your metal? What's going on?
One of the things that I've always said as a teacher growing up is like doing jiu-jitsu is kind of like building a custom car. Yours is going to be different than his. Mine is going to be different from both of yours. But like, we didn't build it to sit it in the garage and drool over it.
Yeah.
You want to take it out on the street. We want to redline it. We want to see what it's got. That's competition.
Yeah.
We can build our car on whatever foundation we want in the gym. But if we never take it out to the strip, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
We got a trophy in the garage.
Exactly. That's true.
Yeah.
What made you decide to make the jump from, just competing to also coaching and teaching and running the gym and everything?
I've always had a little bit of involvement, especially with Oneonta. Shout out Oneonta Jiu-Jitsu, by the way. It's kind of where literally where I grew up, got my black belt from. But since I was a young blue belt, probably fresh blue belt, I had my own like Sunday class, right? So they let me do the thing on Sunday, and at first it was fundamentals, and then it was like, ninja fuckery and all sorts of wild stuff. Yeah. So I've always had a knack for teaching, but it just like the more and more they gave me the responsibility to teach, and the more and more people like came to me to learn, I was just like, wow, like it's an incredible feeling to give someone so awesome. It's almost like a superpower, you know? But then on top of that, for me to be able to understand jujitsu enough in my brain, not only for me to do it, but for it to come out of my head and then you to understand it as well, that like really got me. I was like, wow, like this is something. This is cool. So it's just always interests me. I love seeing people's progress, and ultimately, like jujitsu people are happy, dude. Like,
You're
that's
right.
true.
You're
Yeah.
definitely right
There's just
about that.
something about like no matter what, at the end of the week, you're just like, I'm gonna fucking choke somebody's neck today. You know, it is what it is, and it's like it's cool because then you get to choke someone, and you know, like they'll choke you back. You high five, cool. It's a weird ecosystem because like you'll be trying to murder each other, and then like accidentally pull someone's hair or poke them in the eye. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, dude. Are you okay? Yeah, all right, cool. We slap hands, right back to trying
Yeah.
to rip your arm off. So it's always been like a several dynamics that has always kept me, you know, the mental, the physical.
Yeah.
It's all awesome. The energy.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be like the case most of the time, is that they're happy and go lucky and like having a good time, right?
Oh,
But
yeah, it's a great time.
have you ever run into maybe some animosity, or if you had anybody who was like, you were like, I hate this guy, I'm like choking this guy out right now?
Yeah, you know, it's bound to happen, and honestly, just it kind of depends on the culture of which the gym that you're in.
Yeah,
The culture of Oniana Jiu-Jitsu, it's never really been that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know any other culture. My gym is the same way. We don't
Yeah.
really like, I don't want to say egoless, right? We've learned to live with our ego. You have to have a little bit of ego, you know? It's healthy, you know? So we found a really good way to like live with our ego in our culture. With that being said, jiu-jitsu is like its self-cleaning organism, you know, because once you get on the mats, you just can't lie. There's like, you can say you can have a black belt. You went to this gym. You did that. I'm this guy. Cool. Let's see it. But with that being said, you end up with like one of two options. Either A, you have a hothead who will change his ways, or they don't. And
Yeah.
they leave. Right? Because no one's just going to sit there and get beat up all the time
Yeah.
over and over and over again maliciously.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you ever had someone come in that was definitely holding a belt bigger than they could carry? You know, where they
I've seen situations where you know people are holding a belt a little bit bigger than maybe they can carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those situations before. You know, it's commonplace. It happens. You know, same way like it's kind of like we think about Walmart and all these corporations as like professional, right?
Mhm.
But inside it's just a bunch of people going just as crazy as we are every
Yeah.
day, you know? So I think it's the same thing where like we look at these black belts and we're like, oh crap, you're a black belt, you know? But like we've never seen them roll. I don't know what you're doing, you know?
That's
So,
true.
You know, if you see a black belt, ask them to roll. If they don't roll with you, chances are they're hiding.
I mean, I'm not gonna ask him. I'll be honest.
So here's another thing that I mean, at least in my opinion, right? If you were to ask me to roll right now,
Yeah.
there would be no sense in me beating the shit out of you, right? You don't know anything.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be like just beating the dog for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Right? But we're rolling, we're doing a thing. Maybe you did something right.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna let you continue with that. Follow the path. I'm gonna put resistance. I'm not gonna just flop on you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We're still gonna be fighting. As long as you're doing everything right, I'll walk you right to submission. It is what it is. Right? Some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I'm a black belt. I gotta show them I'm the teacher. No one can beat the teacher. You know? But it's like it inhibits learning.
Yeah.
It inhibits learning for me because then I don't understand how to handle people who don't know what they're doing. I
Yeah.
can only go as hard as I can with someone who's a black belt. Black belt versus
Yeah.
you know? But that like how often does that happen? You know, how many black belts are there? You don't have a gym full of black belts.
Yeah.
You know? So chances are I'm going to be rolling with someone who's smaller than me, who's less experienced than me, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So like, I'm trying to remember the quote. I'll probably hack it, but they say, even a father lion will cry out in pain when pounced on by its cub, right? Not because it hurts, but because it's right.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. That's all. You know, you gotta just that ego thing again.
Yeah.
I don't. Cool. You're gonna go home and tell your wife that you beat me. You know? Cool. You know? It's all right. You know.
So who's the hardest fight you've ever had? Do you remember?
Oh man. I've definitely fought a couple really tough guys out in Vegas. I really got to give this one up to a dear friend of mine who's passed away, unfortunately. His name is Chris Calgi. The man was unchokeable, and we would spend hours just beating the crap out of each other. No timer, just going at it. And I've yet to find someone who has like that never die attitude and the gas tank to match it. You know, so if I wanted to say like the toughest rounds, definitely my man Chris, hands down.
Well, that's I guess you're calling out. You know, somebody wants to come and get him. Come get him.
11 Depot Street.
That's awesome.
It happens sometimes. You know, I spend a little time on TikTok, so you got people who run their mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Chances are they talk it all. They'll never show up.
Yeah.
But I'll always oblige.
Yeah.
It'll be a great lesson.
If somebody knocks on your door, you're gonna
Listen, come on in, sign the waiver, and it'll be a great day at jiu-jitsu.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I always like the idea that, like, because to my knowledge, right, jiu-jitsu is meant for a smaller person could be a bigger person, right? Like,
Yep.
is that the definition of a blue belt, right? Like a smaller person could be an untrained bigger person. Like that's something that's like one of the keys to the belt progression or something like that.
I wouldn't necessarily say key to belt progression.
Yeah.
But it's definitely helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Because that means that if I, as a smaller person, can handle myself under a larger person, chances are my techniques are spot on.
Yeah.
The larger person's probably going to be a little bit stronger than me.
Yeah.
Maybe mine may be a little bit faster, but unless my technique is spot on,
Yeah.
it's going to be really tough to counteract the pressure, counteract the strength of a larger person.
Yeah.
So a smaller technical person on paper should be a larger, stronger person all day.
Yeah. Well, I actually watched Demetrius Johnson. For those of you who don't know, he's like 135
Mighty
pounds.
Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, one of my favorites of
Yeah.
all time. Arguably the greatest mixed martial artist of all
Pound
time.
for pound.
Yep.
I'll say it. If you're not going to say it, I'll say it. Pound for pound, the best
He
fighter.
is great. He's the best. And I watched him when he rolled with that. I don't know the other guy's name. He wasn't like a big deal. I don't know who he was, but he was like 260 pounds. And so that's over 130 pound weight difference. And he won. He submitted him. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And I guess I was going to ask you, like, what's the biggest guy you've ever had to go against and how did that go?
I actually, as funny as that is, I just watched the video with one of my teammates. We were in Plattsburgh for Grappling Industries, and that's when I used to do the absolute division, which is open weight at your belt class. At
Gotcha.
that time, I was a purple belt, so it was open weight. I was 170 pounds. I think I was 260. 260
Wow.
and 6'7". He was a freaking monster. Absolutely.
Holy shit.
Right? So ended up losing my points. He didn't submit me. But I had a hell of a time trying to climb that tree, man.
Oh, man.
I'll have to see if I can send it to you guys. There's
You
one
should.
point-
That's
one
awesome.
Point at like the 2.5 minute mark where I just said, fuck it. I just threw this like nasty flying arm bar. I was like, I got to try something.
Yeah.
You know? But just couldn't get it. It was too big.
Wow.
Too big.
Well, that's crazy. They like call your name out to the mat, and you're like waiting, and then that guy comes walking
And
out.
it is literally just like
Oh my
that.
God.
It's a tournament, so there's just people everywhere, and they'll have you run the general table area, but there's still people everywhere. And of course, it's the absolute division, so you can have someone who's 100 pounds lighter than you, 100 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows, right? So sure as shit, call my name. I walk up. They call the other guy. I'm like, holy shit, like monster. So that day, actually, I ended up fighting him. Another guy that was pretty tough from Canada. Unfortunately, I don't remember his name. We just called him Superman because that's the rash guard he had on. And, ended up fighting my friend Chris that same day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was an awesome day, and that was in Plattsburgh, so almost Canada.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So, what made you want to incorporate not only jujitsu but like striking and MMA into your gym?
So, just my background, man. That's how I kind of got into jujitsu, was through the combat sports. It's always been a kind of a part of my life. So,
Yeah.
Even as I train jujitsu, I always dabble around, and I'd have a fight here, or a boxing match there, or private lesson striking here or there. So it's always been a part of me. But my old gym, it just wasn't part of the culture. They were strictly a competition jujitsu gym.
Gotcha.
And when I had my chance to open my gym, I was like, you know what? Like, we're gonna do combat sports because that's my heart. You know?
Yeah.
And hopefully within the next year or so, I have a nice strong MMA team.
Yeah.
Tearing up the local scene.
Honestly,
Really,
that's
really
really
cool.
awesome.
You know,
We're probably gonna have to check that out and like
Oh,
you
dude,
know
hands down.
see what we got going on.
Not only that, so my adopted son, he's not actually my son, but he's close enough. We call him my son. My son Jude, local MMA fighter who was nationally ranked in New York for a little while, amateurly. But he's like our striking coach. I'm our jiu-jitsu coach, and then we would do the MMA thing.
Gotcha.
We do it together.
That's
So
awesome.
We got plenty of MMA and
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu experience.
We actually have seen. I don't know if you know this is a more local to Albany promotion called Cage Wars. We went to
So
two of those.
Jude fought on Cage
Really,
Warriors.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
so
sick.
he-
No way.
Yep. So he fought. I want to say 2 years ago now. His first fight he won. The second one he lost. The second fight was at the first Mike Tyson's fight night for Cage Wars.
Oh,
So we got to
really?
meet Mike Tyson that night. It was like,
Oh,
Damn,
that night.
damn.
it was dope. Yeah. Only person the dude walked around for 2 days with ankle weights on. He's insane.
Wow,
I don't like
that is
yeah,
nuts.
just with ankle weights everywhere. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Staying ready.
Yeah, he's rocking. So unfortunately he ended up losing that fight. But the guy who he lost to is currently like fucking shit up in karate combat right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So wasn't a terrible loss, you know.
Yeah, and that's a great promotion from what we've seen of it. Like we had a great time. Obviously,
Dude,
you know,
it's
we were
so
just
much fun.
fans, but
Yeah.
it was a great time.
So much fun. Yeah, Cage Wars is a good organization. I think they just switched hands to new owners.
Yeah,
So,
they got
yeah,
a lot of stuff
I'm su-
going
I'm
on. To be
sure-
honest with
yeah,
you,
yeah.
they're always
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm sure
Something's
There's a lot
always
of
going
politics
on.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So like I said, just switch hands to new owners. So I'm sure they'll stay the same. You know.
Yeah.
It's a great organization. It's a great place to fight. They really support the local fighters. So
Yeah. Well, that was why we went. A guy from where we go boxing, he was fighting there. He won that fight, and we actually just got to watch him on UFC Fight Pass. He fought in
Yeah. Niagara
where the hell-
Falls.
Yeah, the casino.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but the LFA Legacy Fighting Association. I think
That's
he
what's up.
lost, unfortunately, but. The guy he fought, same kind of deal, was an absolute killer. He's got 100% finish rate.
go.
Like never been that was his longest fight ever was with that guy.
So I actually may have I have a friend Al Morrow who may have fought on that card.
Oh, really?
The LFL card. Yeah.
No way. Honestly, we probably saw him because actually,
He's
we
a-
were pretty
he's a-
pissed after our guy lost and we turned it off. We were pretty upset.
Yeah,
so.
Al's a big dude.
Yeah.
Heavy hands, good boxer.
Gotcha.
Fights out of man. I'll never remember it right now. I think it's out towards like Herkimer or somewhere. out there.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know,
It's nice. We saw when we went to Cage Wars, we saw quite a few people coming from Canada. They were coming and fighting.
they'll come from Canada.
Yeah.
Yep. Pennsylvania, they'll come from PA a lot.
Yeah.
Reality fighting, which is like the
Yeah,
Naga,
I
which
know
is
about
like
them
the-
too.
okay,
The same
yeah.
guy fought
Yeah.
Cole that we know. He fought on reality
Yeah,
fighting
so
as
they
well.
kind of have like the market cornered over in like the Vermont, Connecticut area. So most
Gotcha.
people go over towards the reality fighting because they do it in, I think it's like on Cassville
Mhm.
in Connecticut. But yeah, great organizations
Yeah.
all around.
The crowds get a little rowdy sometimes. We
Yeah,
we
yeah,
we
they
were
do.
we had front row, so it was awesome. But there was there was like a couple, like an older couple, sitting right next to us, and there was this team. It said like I don't remember the team name, but whatever. They had all green shirts on, so we knew we were all with this guy. And the guy's like recording the fight, and then recording, and it's one of the fighters' parents. We found out later on, and he's like swearing and cussing and calling them a bitch and telling their son's a bitch. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is messed up. And you know, they're not old, but they're older. Like there's this guy's dad who's in his 20s or whatever, and I was like, wow, this is fucked up.
Yeah, I never really understood like the thought of like going to a mixed martial arts event.
Yeah.
And like starting shit.
Yeah.
Especially as
that's
like
kind of what I was thinking.
You don't know who you're gonna go
experienced
against.
I'm not
person,
gonna
you know?
really.
Yeah. Like that doesn't make sense to me. But you know,
There's
liquor
a lot of-
courage does things.
There's a lot of animosity towards like Canadians coming over, like because there's a lot of like
Yeah,
American
we definitely saw
pride
some of that too.
when, that's like a big thing too. So it takes a lot of courage for Canadian to come over to America. 'Cause-
I mean, we were definitely doing some USA chants,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like, fuck these guys,
Yeah.
like get them out of here, you know?
And that's just like that's patriotism.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People love America, and now you got someone's coming to take our crown. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be about it. So we gotta find something. We gotta find something to make us want to fucking beat the shit out of you. So, if it's because you're Canadian, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead. Tom.
at the end of the day, you always respect your opponent. At the end, so I feel like that's a
Yeah.
big thing too. Even in like UFC or in jiu-jitsu, you always like kind of hug the other person. You congratulate them for even kind of going out of their way to fight you. Sometimes there is some beef, but
Hands down, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes things get out of hand, or you talk some shit, whatever, and there's some beef. But at the end of the day, like, you got if you have respect for the martial art, you got to have respect for the person who you fought against.
Yeah. I mean, if you have balls enough to get in there and try to like go at it with somebody, like, I respect you at the end of the day, no matter what.
That's it. Yeah. I'm all about it. So yeah, if you got respect for the game, you definitely have respect for your opponent.
Yeah.
That's the way it's got to be.
Yeah. 100%. You definitely see it though, where people are real, they're assholes. There's a lot of people who are really, I mean,
that's the type of thing that sells these days.
Yeah.
Like it's the loudest person in the
yeah.
room,
I mean, that's
So,
definitely true.
It's it's Sean Strickland, right?
Yeah, dude.
We love Sean Strickland.
He's crazy.
He's got man's got great fighting skills, but he also knows how to get your attention.
Yeah.
So that's at the end of the day, for him, it's cheeks in the seats.
Yeah.
He can spend 25 minutes in that ring, but if you're not getting cheeks in the seats, it's not going to matter.
It
to
doesn't
him.
matter.
So he's got to get cheeks in
Well,
the seats.
that was the big problem with Demetrius Johnson, right? Like he was a great fighter, and not arguably he was the best mixed martial artist of all time. But like that was the problem, and that's why they had such issues in that division. Is he didn't sell pay-per-views?
That was it,
People
man.
didn't want to
He
come
just-
watch, unfortunately, which is wild.
Ran through everyone.
Yeah.
At that time, the division just didn't really have much else to offer.
Yeah.
And then, like, to ask someone to change their weight division because they're not selling tickets,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Who was that? That was
nah.
BJ Penn or who?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
hey, just want you to go up. Like, no, what do
Yeah.
you mean? This is what I weigh.
Yeah. Well, he actually did try to make, to my knowledge, he tried to make a deal. He was like, I'll go up, but if he doesn't make the weight, I want to fight for his belt instead of mine. So but they wouldn't agree to that even. They were like, nope, like that's
Sorry,
not fair.
God.
Like we're fighting for your belt
it.
at this heavier weight. What?
Yeah.
Like what does that mean? That's messed up.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing that's kind of going on with Crawford right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to hit him up with fucking like $400,000.
Yeah.
Like I get it, the sanction fees and stuff, but like really,
Yeah.
what? How are you gonna? The man beat Canelo. It's Crawford. Bro.
Exactly.
Like just give him his money, let him wear your belt. you get all the money off of the advertising anyway.
Yeah.
So just let him do the thing,
Yeah.
So it's just sometimes it's just not enough for him.
Yeah. Did
Same
you
thing,
did you
you-
watch Crawford versus Canelo?
I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
And same thing, man. As the rounds went on, you're just like, yeah, it's Canelo, bro. Like, we love Canelo.
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, Canelo.
Yeah, dude. That was us.
Come on, bro. Come on. Once again, just like, slowly watching your heroes.
Yeah,
take that L, you know, it's
yeah.
like, oh man,
I lost money on that
Yeah.
fight. Because I was like,
no.
Canelo's got this. Canelo's got this. Like I was
He
I
put
was
it,
so sure.
yeah, put it in my heart too.
Yeah, I was
honestly.
like, dude, come on, we got bet. Canelo's winning. But one of our coaches actually called it. He was like, I'm telling you right now, like Crawford is gonna take him. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, evidently he does, and I was wrong.
Even in the
But
gym, we were just saying like if it's gonna happen, like Canelo's gonna have to show up
yeah,
like old school Canelo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
It reminded me of like the Tyson and Jake Paul fight where it was just like, oh my God, like what is going on in
same-
this?
yeah, that was
Same feeling,
sad.
you know?
That
Yeah.
was so sad.
Come on, Mike.
That was a worse feeling for me because I was like, this guy, like, this is so sad.
Come on, bro. I just saw your butt cheek.
That was wild too. Like what?
The whole show was wild.
Actually the card in general though, like the fights leading up to that, great card. Like they had good fights going on. Unfortunately, that was like the worst one. And I was like,
yeah, even though I don't remember their names, but like the female,
the female fight.
Taylor.
Oh my
Fire.
God, yeah.
you know, and then they even ran it back and Shorty lost again, but it was still
Damn.
controversial, you know. So it was a pretty good card.
That's
it was a
crazy.
good show.
Yeah,
They all went 12 rounds, which is impressive.
yeah.
And 12 rounds in general is just
Dude, and like for people who don't know what it is to throw your hands for 12
I know.
Yeah.
rounds, you know, that it's intense stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
Try 3. Go,
Yeah.
everyone at home, try just try like shadow boxing for a few minutes, like nonstop though, and
That's
you
it,
literally
you know?
you'll get gassed.
Yeah, just 3 punches,
Yeah.
jab, cross, hook, 3 minutes, don't stop. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I have people come to class all the time. They're like, yeah, we're gonna, like, yeah, all right, come on.
Yeah, people don't understand the cardio it takes. Like it really is another level, you know.
Combat sports car, like, and the thing, like, you can't run and get it. You
Yeah.
can't mountain bike and get it. You can't swim and
Yeah.
get it. If you want mat cardio,
Yeah.
you got to hit that.
It has
you
to
want
be that.
boxing cardio, you have to be throwing punches.
You're 100% right, because like when we first started going, I was like I can definitely do this. Like I'm an active guy. I do like 3-5 miles on the treadmill, no problem. So like this can't be. We did like a circuit, and I was like, wow, okay, like holy shit, it's a total different type of cardio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as jiu-jitsu, dude, I can roll for hours.
Yeah.
You know, just set a timer and just close the door and we're ready to rock.
Yeah.
I did like 5 rounds with my son last week and I was just like dying. Bro, stop hitting me. Oh my God. This is, you know, but just doing jiu-jitsu all the time, you don't have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Getting hit or, you know, keep static positions. It gets tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And it definitely burns you out.
Yeah. You ever have a hard time with like that transition? Like maybe, you know, for a couple, you know, you've just been rolling and just been doing this, and then you're like, all right, maybe I got to do a little striking now. And you're like, oh, shit, I forgot. I got to like,
Yeah,
you know.
So the only time I'll ever get caught is if we're like, I'll transition from doing like pure boxing.
Yeah.
And then we go like to do kickboxing. Because then
Gotcha.
like I'll just be in the mindset of throwing hands.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I'll just be throwing hands and I'll catch a kick.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, all right. I forgot we're doing that. Right, you know, it's just
That,
get, you know,
I would
get
100%
tunnel
have that
vision
problem.
me too. Yeah.
But yeah, so on the opposite side, if it's MMA, I'm grappling based. So,
Yeah.
And you're going to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, very little hands. We're going to the ground.
So is that your like if you were to start off right away, you're like going for a
Oh, yeah.
takedown
I'm
off rip?
My,
Gotcha.
My striking is built for takedowns.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna set you up, blind you, maybe make some contact.
Yeah.
But I'm coming in.
I mean, that wins fights. Might as well. Like that's kind of what was Merab's whole thing for a long time. Like we watched him. I think it was the card before that where he broke the 100. He broke 100. He's at over 100 takedowns in his UFC career, which is like insane. It's like what, you know. But even his striking though has progressed like crazy. Like the fight we just watched with Peter Yan, like his striking. I mean, he got outstruck, but that's because Peter Yan's a boxer. He's crazy. But it was amazing to see like how far he's gotten. That's again though, I couldn't believe how good Peter Yan's takedown defense was. Like that was just wild to me.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
You know, especially like obviously the Dagestani wrestling is where it's at right now. You know, so to finally have somebody have like just a little bit of a glimpse of what it takes to stop it.
Yeah.
It's gonna change the game now.
It
you know?
is.
So now that he was able to do it, now everybody
Other people are thinking and
it,
they're like,
you know?
yeah.
So that's what makes the game awesome.
Yeah.
Because now there'll be a meta.
Yeah.
And someone breaks the meta.
Yeah.
That's
now
a
you-
good.
Now you
that's
gotta have a
good,
new
yeah.
meta. That's
a whole different thing now.
And
Yeah.
it started out like guillotines were hot for so
Yeah.
long, and
Yeah.
then it was like heel hooks, and now
Yeah.
like the new low key wave is like hip locks,
Yeah.
with Z locks and all like so things just progress and progress and progress. Once you figure it out, someone else figures it out, and on top of that, now the jiu-jitsu is a lot more popular. You
Yeah.
got, like the upper echelon just out there grinding
Yeah.
it out all the time. So they're finding it even faster than before.
Yeah, like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
He's like crazy
What's
at
that
jujitsu.
all about?
No, he really is. He's like really. Apparently, he's good. I don't really know, but
We'll leave that to the internet.
I haven't seen any
got-
videos of him rolling or anything.
You got my app, Mark. No, I've seen a couple of videos of it, but it's just like, you guys aren't experienced in grappling, so to see Mark Zuckerberg grappling, you're like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
you're like that guy's
like,
a loser.
I got fucking guys in my gym that would beat the shit out of him. I feel so bad that they're not getting this recognition. And like, it's Mark Zuckerberg, but what are you gonna do? It's Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Like Ed Hardy.
yeah.
I always complain, and he's not that bad. He's also not that bad. But I also know guys that would beat the shit out of him at the same belt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're lucky you're fucking Bane. Bro. Like I would send my homies after you.
I don't mess with him. He's born in the dark, man.
It's born in the dog, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right, though. That's why people think it's interesting. They're like, oh, look at this guy. I saw him training with Alex Pereira the other day. I was like, what is this world we're living in? I was like, this is not on my bingo card for the year.
Yeah. That's like, who is that guy that they're talking about now? Moneyberg.
Yeah.
Moneyberg. Like, there's no way in hell, bro.
Yeah.
Like you don't even take your socks off on the mat. Like, I don't know. I don't care who you had train you. You know? Like you can have the best people in the world, but if you tell me that you've been training 4 to 5 times a week with the best people in the world for like 3 years, and like your belly pokes out further than your kneecaps, I don't know. Like, you look like a Moneyberg. But once again, it's not that he wanted to be good at jiu-jitsu. In my opinion, he wanted the controversy.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm a black belt. There's nothing you can say about it because I'm a black belt and I have money. And if you say something, you're just a broke joke.
Pay to win.
That's
it.
it.
Yeah.
So now he's got, he's rubbing arms with Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
And Musumeci,
Yeah.
But like watch those videos back and he'll be talking and Gordon Ryan's like,
You hear this guy?
So sometimes, once again, if you want to be Gordon Ryan and make some controversy and some money at the same time, it's a great way to do it.
Gordon Ryan, what an absolute animal too. Like I said, I'm not super big into the world, but big names like that I know. Mikey Musumeci, I also know. But I don't remember who he was fighting when he did the envelope thing. But I thought that was insane. He for those of you who don't know, he handed the judges an envelope at the beginning of the match. Go on, submits the guy, and he basically, what was it, a triangle? I think he just put a picture of a triangle, and that was how he submitted it. So he told them before he was gonna do it.
Yeah. And some people are like, oh, he's so cocky. Like, it's tough to say he's cocky because he's really fucking good. So Izzy's just really confident in what he can do, because who's been able to displace him?
Exactly.
I don't think he's cocky.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't mean he's the greatest person in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. It doesn't have to be the greatest person in the world. It's definitely a really, really good grappler.
Yeah.
Once again, hands down, one of the best grapplers in the world.
Yeah.
For someone to come and dethrone freaking Andre Galvão from ADCC, who's been the reigning ADCC champion for 4 or 5 years in a row. It's the changing of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
But not for nothing. Gordon's tummy hurts these days. He's getting a little older.
Yeah.
He's got the Kingsway gym. eventually it's going to come to a changing of the guards.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be the champion at ADCC one day, and the new Gordon Ryan is going to put belt to ass.
Yep.
It's sad to see the legends die. It's
Yeah,
just,
we last card we were just talking about Henry Cejudo, Triple C.
yeah.
Also great guy,
Great guy.
super great fighter. He fought his retirement fight yesterday, and that was kind of, I was bummed. I really wanted him to win. I was like, please win, Henry. And in my heart, though, I was like, he's probably gonna lose. But I said that I was like, he's probably gonna lose, but I really want this guy to win.
Sometimes you can just feel it. You're just like, dude, just bow out gracefully.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You got it.
He went out with a bang,
But
though.
yeah,
like
you know, he went out and threw it out there.
He gave. I thought he was knocked out twice during the fight. I was like, oh my god, no! They just knocked him out.
Craziness.
He ate shots. I mean, and honestly, his striking too I thought was pretty decent. Like I thought he went out there and was definitely. I mean, did it look like it on the other guy, Peyton Talbot's face? No. But he definitely, to me, I was like, oh, he's hitting him, and then I was like, look at his face, and I'm like, why the fuck does he not have any marks on his face? Like, what's going on here? But Peyton Talbot is also a very good fighter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it just happens, you know. Like that's kind of, they have to pass through like the old lion and get into the. Well, that's what they were saying with the. Jan, I forget his name. The bigger, yeah, the first fight we watched, the heavy fight, like that guy's 43, the other guy was like 30, I think, or something like that, and that was like it was a draw, like never happens. It was crazy, but it was nice to see, like,
that one.
Okay, this guy is old, but he still got it done. Like he gave it everything he had, and
Duvagovic, or something like that.
and the other guy was the Sakara guy, and it was just insane. I was like, wow. And I told everyone that the younger guy was going to beat the shit out of him too. So I looked kind of stupid. I was like, nah, I think it's over for him. But he did a good job. He couldn't throw his right hand at all. Honestly, it was insane. Have you ever had to like fight through any injuries like that?
Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of injuries. I've had slap tears in my shoulders. I went to an absolute division in Paterson, New Jersey one day, and I had a 230-pound man split my pelvis in half.
Wow.
Like, you know, there's cartilage that connects your pelvis in the front, and like literally like delaminated the cartilage off of my bone. You know?
Oh my god.
So apparently, like that's a common thing for like hockey players, rodeo riders, and pregnant women. You know? So I went to the doctors, and they were like, "What the fuck did you do?" You know, like, jiu-jitsu. Like, bless you. What was that? Yeah. Like, I'm an idiot. Sorry. Can we fix this? Like, yeah, we got this giant needle. It's like, fuck you, bro.
Damn, that's terrifying.
Yeah. So for a while, I was probably out for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Not much, but a ton of pain meds.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
just kind of everything just slowly fused back together, but like coughing, sneezing, moving the wrong way.
Oh my god.
You don't want to split your pelvis, bro.
That's awful.
Doesn't
Yeah,
sound
I'm
right.
not gonna plan on that one. That does not sound.
I don't even have a cool story for it. You know?
Yeah.
Some giant man split me in half. Guys. I don't know.
At least
Well,
it
I
was some
mean,
giant
maybe
man.
maybe if you worded it a little differently, you could have.
Listen,
There I was going to fight this huge guy.
either way, he's still a giant. Yeah.
I mean, you see a lot of people, like, obviously that is a super serious, but I mean, like, fight through injuries. Like, we saw that guy, he could not, he had a shoulder surgery. He couldn't throw, like, he was throwing right hands, but they were nothing, you know? And that's kind of an interesting thing that fighters are willing to, like, be like, hey, it's fight day. I'm fighting no matter what's going on.
That's it, man. It comes down to that warrior spirit,
Yeah.
really. And some people have it, some people don't.
Yeah.
But those people who usually choose to fight, you know, like they're not just fighting because, like, oh, I'm trying to get out the hood. No,
Yeah.
they enjoy it, you know. It's you can get paid from it, but if you don't actually enjoy it, like, you're not gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And especially not for very long. You know.
It takes a while for you before you get paid for it. I mean,
Yeah. So you have to, yeah.
And then even now getting paid for it, like you're still getting paid, you know, but like you can still be getting paid way more.
pennies on
Yeah.
the dollar. Yeah.
Well, that's always like the controversy with the UFC is Dana White paying his fighters enough? And it's like, is he? I have no idea. I don't know about the fighter pay that much, but I know there's a lot of problems with early on. And it's like, obviously you're not going to make as much money early on, but I think that the issue is they're not understanding how much it takes to get to that level. And then, you know, Dana's like, oh, I'm paying this guy all kinds of money, but it's like, he needs to be training every day. Like he shouldn't have
And
to
then
have another job.
The common thing to happen after that is that when I get that check, I have to pay for my fight camp.
Yeah.
I got to pay for like, so
Everything's gone.
everything is gone. I got like, a couple $100,000
Yeah.
afterwards. Cool. I could have worked at fucking Apple and did this.
Yeah.
Great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So like, and especially as someone who was a fighter, never a professional fighter,
Yeah.
but like I can see it, you got someone out there swinging a baseball bat and you're getting millions of dollars,
Exactly.
like hundreds and
Exactly.
millions.
That's a
of
little
dollars.
ridiculous.
I'm getting punched in my face. Like that's my job is to almost get murdered. And you're gonna give me a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll be back next month.
Yeah.
People get like, messed up
Dude,
faces
yeah,
and everything.
I mean, like crushed orbital bones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
cheekbones,
I mean, just
jawbones,
look at the
like,
fight. Look at the fight card rosters. Look at the rosters.
God.
Look at these people.
You know?
They're.
Yeah.
We've seen it all. JDM's got his nose is way over here.
You know
Like
what
you know
I'm
what I
saying?
mean. Marab, we just watched his same thing. His nose
It's
is
almost
over
got
here.
an S in it.
Yeah. Like they were when they were saying originally that his face was messed up during the fight. I was like, it's always like that. He's just got a scratch. Like you guys don't
It
understand.
actually looks straighter than normal. What do you mean?
And that's true. I think the problem with that is just the fan base. Not so much that like the fan base in itself. Like I think it's a great fan base, but just the size, right? Like the UFC is relatively in comparison to the global sports conglomerates young. They only around like what 30 years or something like that, 50 years, but. Whereas baseball, football, like that's hundreds of years or 100 years of
hands
evolution.
down. No,
So
they
that's what happens.
They definitely have a head start in that aspect.
Yeah.
On the fighter side of it, like one of the worst things the UFC ever did was like stop fighters from allowing them to get their own sponsorship.
Yeah.
Right. So like, does it look like haggard shit? Like, yeah, of course, you got people's sponsors all over it. There's no cohesiveness to it. But like. Now people can get Nike sponsorship.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to. As someone who doesn't want to pay your fighters an absurd
Yeah.
amount of money, wouldn't you think that would be a good idea?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Let them go out and get their own monster deal or their own Nike deal or whatever it may be. So now, so what? They're running around with a freaking Monroe muffler sticker on their phone. Like, whatever. Like you still got paid. You're still going to get paid. It's not going to stop people from buying the pay-per-views.
Yeah. That's what makes no sense, honestly.
Doesn't make sense to me.
You're definitely right. I never really thought about it from that. I mean, I remember when that was a big deal, like because I remember watching when they had a bunch of sponsors on the. Demetrius Johnson had the Xbox. That was like super cool. I was like, this is awesome. He's got Xbox out there.
Yeah.
But
it was a cool time for fighters. It was a cool time for brands because they can start exposing themselves through different channels. But now it's like, all right, cool. You get like. Monster. Make sure you're holding the can of Monster.
The empty can of Monster at the end of the fight.
You're probably not going to get paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
But you just here's your check for the fight. Thank you.
Here's 10 grand. Really sorry that you spent 4 months. Oh, you lost? Oh, hold on. Because I think to like that's literally I think that's the starting for UFC. It's like 10 and 10 to show up and 10 to win. Like that's like, and which is like, all right, maybe you're sitting at home thinking like, oh, what do you mean 10 grand? Like, okay, no, like this guy's had to train his whole life. Probably went through a fucking, who knows, 3-month fight camp. Had to die to make weight, and then
not only that, but to make $100,000, you have to fight 10 times
exactly,
in a year.
Exactly,
and that is a lot.
That's crazy, and you
lot.
don't see that. That never happens,
especially at the professional.
No, they're not fighting 10 times in a year. It was the biggest deal ever that Marab fought 4 times this year. Everyone thought that was insane. They were like,
Joshua Van fought like 3 times.
All right, Joshua Van's different. That guy is an absolute animal.
Yeah. So when we had like the amateur fight club, we would have a show every month.
Yeah.
So like we were like probably for like almost 6 months. So we had like 6 back to back fights.
Yeah.
And even my friends that were in the fight game were like, dude, you're stupid. Stop that. Like you're gonna get hurt. Stop.
Yeah.
Like you're exponentially.
Yeah.
Just blowing it out of the water. You're gonna end up with CTE.
Yeah.
Like you name it. You can real fast.
That's how you know you enjoy it, though. If you're willing every single month to go in there and get your ass kicked, like
So I get a little twitch every once in a while. I'll be all right.
Do you know of anyone who's gotten CTE?
Man, so not full blown CTE, but I do know a couple guys who've gotten like delayed speech patterns as they've gotten older, memory issues.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't say like people have been like diagnosed CTE. That's you, but like probably pretty close.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just because like back when, you know, not for nothing, I'm 40 years old. So when I was fighting, I was like 21, 20 years old. So 20 years ago, we were quite literally just locking each other in a cage and beating the crap out of each other. You know, the refs were semi, you know, educated.
Yeah.
They did a pretty good job at stopping us, but sometimes it'd be questionable. So,
Oh, jeez.
Did you ever have any issues with a ref?
not stoppages for me, but there's been, I would like to say, a handful of times where I've had to like in the middle of choking someone, like look at a ref and be like, he's out. he's out.
Yeah.
He's out. I've let people go.
Yeah.
You know, because if I know that you're out, like
Yeah,
I'm not
obviously.
gonna hold on to it, you know? If there was like something on the line, like, you know, some huge amount of money or championship to where like now, if the ref doesn't see that he's out, I'm gonna be screwed. You know, we all gotta go work Monday, bro. Like, like wake up, stop doing this.
This guy's got kids.
You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Early blue belt, I had a Naga tournament and mounted triangulus guy. He was out cold. The video, like you just see his legs like this, and next thing you know, boom, just out.
Yeah.
And I have no clue. I'm just triangling him. My whole team screaming, he's out, he's out, he's out. I get up and the ref's still standing there, like looking at him, you know? So it's just like, wow,
Is
guys,
he out?
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I've seen a couple of videos where they do like the arm drop, like like the ref like grabs their arm. Oh shit, this guy's out. Hey, get off there.
Yeah, it's just, you know,
I mean, I
Hulk
obviously the
Hogan,
refs.
WWF, you know?
Yeah. Obviously, the refs need to be educated and understand, but at the same time, they face so much heat if a fight stopped early. Like,
Hands down.
that's
So
a big problem too.
I feel like it should almost be like in the rules.
Yeah.
You know? Like if it's just a regular match, like we got to worry about safety.
Yeah.
But if there's something big and contentious on the line, like the championship match, like for instance, Sam Alvey, you see the Sam Alvey fight, Karate Combat?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So although the ref is taking a ton of heat, it's on social media.
Yeah.
Sam Alvey literally told him before the match, hey, this is a championship fight. I know I could take an ass whooping. Let it go a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't stop me early.
Yeah.
So he let him get up 3 times.
Yeah.
And every single time he got up, he got put down hard.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's one of those things, you know, it was a special request. I'm like, yo, this is for the championship fight. Don't shortchange me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
don't shortchange
Because that's
me.
who gets the most pissed is the fighters.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be
you
really
know what I
upset.
mean? It's like, holy
There's
shit.
nothing worse than like feeling like you were cheated at a match.
Yeah.
Because especially like in the jiu-jitsu culture, it's almost like bred into the rules that you don't question the ref.
Yeah.
Right. So we already know no matter what, if there's an issue, there's literally nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, like we can have video evidence, whatever. If you talk to an IBJJF ref during the match, you get disqualified. Can't talk to them.
Really? Okay.
You're not to address them. You listen
Oh,
to
really?
what they say, and that is it. You know, they're very, very strict.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and even like, so obviously there's a thing as a verbal tap. If your arms are stuck, you can stay tapped. right?
Yeah.
So as you're grappling, like you're not supposed to make any audible noise out loud because technically they can consider that a verbal tap.
Oh, okay.
So I have friends that love to talk shit or like joke around while they're grappling
Mhm.
all the time. They'll get yelled at. Shut up. Quiet
Yeah.
down. Like you can't be talking. You know, I will disqualify
Yeah.
you.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So sometimes they take it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's hard for the refs, though. I feel for them on that front where it's like, okay, you know, no matter what I do, I'm the asshole.
That's
Like, you know what I mean?
That is it.
If I stop this, if I didn't stop this fight in time, it's 2 weeks of memes of me not stopping the fight on time, and I'm a piece of shit,
That's
and
it.
I was, you know, doing whatever. Or if I stop it too early, it's another 2 weeks of the opposite meme. You know,
Hands down. Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big Herb Dean fan. He's my favorite ref
Let's
in the
go.
UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Mergliata.
Yeah. Okay.
Up at a Cage Wars all the time.
Yep.
So he frequents the Cage
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he was cool
we
to
saw
see
him.
because we know he refs for the UFC,
Yeah.
and so we know he's there, and it was really honestly I
Dude,
can't say enough about Cage Wars
Dude,
because it was
you
great.
can literally walk right up to him and ask him for a picture.
Yeah.
He's the coolest guy.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Dan is super cool.
Fuck, we sure got a picture.
Yeah, that's what I about to.
We will
Dan
next
is super
time.
cool. Yeah.
They have another. I think January, middle or
Uh,
end of January. They have another
Yeah,
one.
I honestly think it's the 31st.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
is January 31st.
They're doing one in Florida too.
After
yeah?
that, the next
Yeah.
one's in Florida. I was like, really? So
Wow.
I don't know if that's maybe because of the change of hands of owners or what, but yeah, they had a really cool promotional video for it. I was like, wow, they had like
Oh.
Lamborghinis
Yeah,
and shit. I was like, oh.
yeah.
So I was like, oh man, ticket price is done. There's no way, not anymore.
What? No more pay-per-view?
Because it really is a pretty like you can like get in for like $20 or $30 or whatever, but you can get like front row for like $100.
$100.
Like
bro.
right
It was
there.
really
And it's like,
nice.
oh wow. Because I'm not gonna lie, like we didn't know much about it. We buy the tickets. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going and I'm getting
just
front
going.
row. Like
Heck
I don't know,
yeah.
I don't care. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna be kind of rinky dink like but then we show up and I'm like, wow, this is literally the UFC, just
Yeah,
like
it's a nice
smaller
venue,
scale. Yeah.
We were on the Jumbotron. It was
Let's
pretty
go.
cool.
Yeah, we had a good time. We were having a good
They
time.
have the takeover there, shooting the t-shirts.
No, they didn't have a
No.
T-shirt. They just had some guy throwing them.
throwing
That
them.
guy, maybe they had budget cuts that week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mike Tyson wasn't there. That's
Yeah.
why.
Heck yeah.
They had a couple. I think at one point, oh man, I can't. Game Bread. What the hell's his actual name?
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had something to do with the organization at one point. I
Huh.
heard something about that. Maybe that wasn't true, but I don't know. Thanks for getting his name. I never remember his name, but I know he's Game Bread. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, that was a great time. It's really hard. Do you know how much like those fighters are getting paid roughly, if you had to guess, just because you're in the world?
So those fighters usually don't get paid much.
Yeah.
They're especially, I would say 8 times out of 10, most of the people on those cards are amateur.
Yeah.
So like, if you're amateur, you cannot get paid. You're not allowed to.
Gotcha.
If you get paid, you're a professional. And once you're a professional, you cannot go back down to amateur. So like, you're a professional for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
wow, I
yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yep. So if you get paid for a match, you're considered a professional.
Gotcha.
So
okay, so that's
now,
the difference.
Now let's say like some jackass just paid me for a match, right?
Mhm.
Whatever. That goes against the rules. I can get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Now, am I actually like a professional on paper? No. I'm supposed to have like my matches and go through have my
Yeah.
my 3 amateur matches and go through have my Notion matches and whatnot before I go
Mhm.
pro. But if you're getting paid for amateur, someone's getting in trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of them do it just for promotional value, just to like show up and say like, "Hey, this
Yeah.
is on card." You know.
Yeah, yeah. And so the way like they'll get away with it or like paying them, I don't want to say paying them, right? What they'll do is they'll reimburse them for travel, reimburse them for the
Gotcha.
hotel, give them money for dinner, So like I'm not paying you,
Yeah.
I'm reimbursing you. You didn't pay for the
Hmm.
ticket, you donated money to my organization.
Gotcha. That's some
yeah.
politics type
That's-
shit right
that's-
there.
Yeah,
you know?
that's how-
That-
Under the
that's
rug
like some,
kinda backdoor.
Oh, you want your law passed in legislation? Oh my God, you donated to my campaign? That's so crazy. Yeah,
Surprise.
That's funny. That's everywhere like that.
Does that happen a lot in the jiu-jitsu world?
No, jiu-jitsu people don't get paid. Fuck.
What?
Yeah. Like the only people who get paid are like the Gordon Ryans. and,
Yeah,
like
the
Yoshinoshis,
big
the
deals.
big names. Otherwise, like we're literally just out here for glory.
Yeah.
Like, that is it.
Yeah.
Like we might get our name out there. There's a couple of organizations that are like right below the UFC.
Yeah.
And now the UFC's got like their own grappling.
Yeah, they have their
which is
own, which that is what I've seen
super,
a lot more
super
of.
cool. I have a friend actually that's out on the West Coast who's running a pit tournament.
Really?
Yeah, so like they'll set up pits in an arena, and now they have like 8 pits out and 8 matches going at the same time. Super, super cool. I can't wait for it to come out this year.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But yeah, so that type of stuff is taking off. But like, nah, we're just out here. All
Yeah.
guts, all glory.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good on the UFC
Hey.
though for doing that, because like that's kind of what brought me more into knowing anything about it at all. Like I
Yeah.
said, I don't know a lot, but what I do know is from stuff like that, because
That's
it's like,
it,
oh,
yeah.
you see it, and then they obviously run promotions and ads for it during the UFC. You're like, oh, that's cool.
That's
like
cool, yeah.
let me go check that out.
Yeah, and I think ultimately, like, it'll bring a little bit more interest to the sport.
Yeah.
But it also will kind of, if it works out properly, also bring a little bit more understanding to the ground game
Yeah.
of UFC.
And then maybe we'll get
So,
less booze.
Less booze, right? Less booze, more tickets, you know. It is what it is. But and I mean, even as a black belt, like I can totally see like how boring it is to like just watch two black belts hack it out for grip positioning.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like they've moved like maybe 6 inches in the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, did you see that, bro? And it's just like, what are you talking about? They didn't move anywhere. What? Are we watching the same thing? Like, you know? But that's how it is. If jiu-jitsu is the type of thing, like if you know, you know. And if you don't, you're lost.
Yeah. That is the problem. And honestly,
me, yeah. I have no idea what's going on.
I definitely don't like on the ground. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I can see when work's happening. I'm like, okay, these guys are working, you know, like don't stand them up. Like let these guys like see what's going on. And sometimes it actually is really interesting because you'll see like a great roll where it's like, wow, how did that guy just flip that guy over with his leg? And then it's like, oh, but that guy turned him back around, like, or something crazy where they're like literally rolling all around and you're like, wow, now this is nuts. Like that's the type of stuff. If people see more of that, then they're like, oh, okay.
Dude,
then you don't hear any
That
boos.
is like right up my alley of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I always tell my competition team, like, if you hit a submission and the crowd didn't go wild, did it even happen? You know? So like the flashier it is, like I'm all about flying submissions and inverted shots and Imanari rolls.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Style
That's
points.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love all of it. Yeah, and dude, it'd be awesome to have you guys stop by sometime.
Oh,
Honestly, we
dude,
definitely will.
it's
Like
not-
I said,
feel
I didn't
free.
know much about it, and like now looking it up because we found you as a guest, we're like, oh wow, this is pretty sick. And that's why we go all the way out to Albany is because there wasn't any type of like combat sports like that near us. So we're like, all right, we gotta go out. I mean, we have a great time out there. Love our coaches and
dude, yeah,
everything. But
I've heard great things about shots.
yeah, honestly,
Oh, that's cool.
I definitely I need some ground game because right now, like we're vulnerable. We're those guys that it's like they only have the striking.
Yeah.
Not that that's not good. It's good, but like something happens, we get taken. I have no takedown defense.
Let's go. Yeah, and overall, like we got a great curriculum. We got a good system of teaching. And even though like jiu-jitsu is like the endless web of connecting moves and whatnot, we can get you a real good base real fast.
Gotcha.
That's what matters.
So you said you do classes Monday through Friday?
Yeah, so we do classes Monday through Saturday.
Saturday,
Yep.
okay.
So Saturday is like our open mat day.
Okay.
Friday, let's go back to the beginning of the month, week. Monday is youth striking, cardio striking. Afterwards is youth MMA. Mondays at 5:15 we have women's self-defense. We have a weekly women's self-defense class as opposed to like just like stopping in for a seminar or whatnot, because my wife is the one who runs it and I help her out with it. With her background in self-defense and also like my propensity to be violent, it really just makes like a special brand of like actual functional self-defense as opposed to like doing all your like like some grandma will go to like the Y on the weekend.
Yeah.
In self-defense class, and now she's Chuck Norris. So
Throwing leg kicks and
so
stuff.
that's why we got the weekly women's class and then MMA class. After that, Tuesday is kids jiu-jitsu, kids 1 and 2. We have 2 age groups. Afterwards is adults jiu-jitsu. Tuesday is boxing. Wednesday, we have a functional fitness day for the kids, because if you can perform jiu-jitsu but you're not fit enough to do it, like
Yeah.
right. So now we we have all sorts of fun functional fitness. It's like you have to check out some of the reels, bro. It's like a club sometimes.
Yeah,
That's
I've
why-
seen
Yeah.
some
You know,
actually.
it's-
I
Yeah.
said, I was looking
Super
at your
fun.
profile.
Yeah, they love it. We get the lights going, the music going. They're doing circuits and stuff. It's great. So we do workout Wednesday for the kids 1 and 2, MMA class as well. At the same time, just on a lower deck. Wednesday is no-gi jiu-jitsu, and then Wednesday night is MMA again. So Monday, Wednesday is MMA night. Tuesday is boxing night. Thursday is kickboxing.
Ooh.
Traditional jitsu as well, and then kids jitsu 1 and 2. Friday sparring day.
That's awesome. You really got like a great. It's honestly so awesome to see it like here in our own community. Just that like stuff like that is even able to happen.
And
It's really
it's
nice.
a good mix. It's awesome. And then like the other thing is like it's like I'm not a kind of guy like toots his own horn.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty humble guy. But like we have like top notch instruction.
Yeah.
You know, like I've won like medals upon medals upon medals and super fights and like you name it, you know. So like there's no reason why we should have like such good jiu-jitsu in the area.
Yeah.
It's just been here for so long and it's been kind of like a secret. So now we have like top-notch instruction, but we do it as programs. It's the jiu-jitsu program. So if you sign up for jiu-jitsu, you can do jiu-jitsu all week long. You know, if you sign up for striking, it's not just like striking. You do MMA. You can come and do boxing. You can come and do MMA on Wednesday. You can come all week long.
Gotcha.
So we try and make it not only like real nasty instruction, but like also affordable. Because like, what's the point of it if it's only available to like the upper echelon?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
we're really big into like the community, helping people out and all that stuff. Kind of didn't really grow up having a ton myself, so being able to like fulfill to make sure that there's never a younger me. You know, always being able to give someone an opportunity. I'm always about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So when you do the sparring on Fridays, like, have you ever, because I'm sure you're like kind of watching and making sure everyone's, you know,
Absolutely. Safety
Not-
key.
yeah. Have you ever had to say like, all right, calm down a little bit here.
Absolutely. And it guaranteed it's going to happen multiple times throughout the night.
Yeah.
And it's just the natural progression of sparring.
Yeah.
We have
Because I've gotten that a few times. So Tony's gotten it a bunch.
So we have designated like hard sparring
Yeah.
days, right, when we're going to competition or whatever. But once again, in the fight game, like you got a life meter.
Yeah.
And every time you get hit, it doesn't refill.
Yeah.
You know? So if you're hard sparring all the time,
Yeah.
you know,
exactly.
knock, 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 CTE, here it comes. Right? So we do a lot of light sparring, but we kind of leave it like variable. Like if you want to come and you want to get a little bit extra work in, communication is key.
Yeah.
Let your partner know you want to get a little bit of work in. It is what it is. Someone gets hit a little bit too hard, got to say something, right? The best thing to do, obviously, is what we always tell in our own gym, you got to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
Right? If I hit you too hard, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, did I hit you too hard? Right? It's your choice to be like, whoa, you hit me too hard, you know?
People get pissed if you do say that. If you're like, sorry, they're
I
like,
do.
shut the hell up. Like,
Yeah.
our
If I
coach
get
will
hit
say
in
that.
the
Like,
face, I don't wanna-
when we were first beginning sparring, like, you know, we'd crack because we're friends. Everybody that we go with, you know, cracks. Oh, sorry, man. He's like, don't fucking say that. Yeah. Like, you're gonna get hit.
we mentioned it earlier. It happens in jiu-jitsu all the time. Like someone will pull my hair or like accidentally poke me in the eye. They're scratching me too. Coach, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. All right, yeah, cool. We slap hands, bump fists. like you are literally trying to break my arm. You scratched me. Like, don't say sorry. Keep going. I'm not gonna stop. The only reason we stop is because you stopped to say sorry.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. It's what it is.
This is one time that me and Aiden were like kind of going at it, and
we're having very hard rounds. We're having hard rounds.
Yeah, and he hit me, and he's like, "Sorry." And as soon as he said sorry, I hit him
He punched me
right
so
in the
hard in the face, and I like had stopped because I really thought I like really rocked him, and I was like, oh, like I like stopped for a
Hands down
second,
and everything.
boom. And I'm like, oh shit, oops, sorry.
Let's go. There's this doing sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, it's just natural progression of things, especially in combat sports. Like I threw a punch and I thought it was gonna land somewhere. Maybe you moved, so I got to put a little bit extra behind it. Maybe you leaned into it, like whatever. It's going to happen. If I think about it as something malicious, it's going to be something malicious. But it's not. We're in the gym. You guys are friends. There's literally, at least in my gym, the culture that we build, there's literally nothing that anyone can do in that gym that is going to offend someone.
Yeah.
Right? You would have to like talk shit about my mom and slap me in the face at the same time, you know? And then even then I'd be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You know? So like, you know, it's combat sports. We get in there, we crash each other up, and then we go out for a beer afterwards.
Yeah.
Like it is what
exactly.
it is. That's how it goes.
I like that.
Yeah. Super free, super vibey. Like we're not a traditional gym by any means. You know, like if you want to wear a fucking tie-dye gi, I don't give a shit what color gi you wear. Just as long as you have one and you wash it afterwards, you know. That's all I care about. You know?
So, Ben Dixon, it was a great time having you. Shout out to your gym. Can you give us stickers?
Let's go.
Yeah, I put mine up there. I'm getting the promotion. Oh.
Yeah.
Mootin.
Mushin.
Yeah.
I told you I was going to mess that one up.
It's a tough one.
Mushin Martial Arts. Check him out. He's in Delhi. He was a great guest. Ben Dixon.
Let's go.
Follow
Hell
him on
yeah.
Instagram. He's in the description below.
Let's go.
Great guy. Love having you. Hopefully we'll go to his gym. We'll see us there, man.
Anytime, you guys are more than welcome anytime.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Go.
Peace.
Easy.